My wife sent me a text. She wanted a divorce, instructed me not to contact her, and told me to speak with her attorney. I responded with a single word, fine. Then I locked down every credit card and halted her monthly allowance. My name's Marcus, I'm 30, and I thought I had everything under control. I've been married to Sienna for 4 years, together for 7. I work as a software engineer at a tech startup that was bought out last year, earning a solid 6-figure income with stock options and all the perks. Sienna quit her job 2 years into our marriage, saying she wanted to focus on self-discovery and possibly launch a boutique one day. I backed her decision, covering all our expenses. Our downtown apartment rent, her car lease, groceries, her gym membership, shopping sprees with friends, lavish weekend brunches that cost more than my weekly food budget. I paid for it all without a word. In hindsight, I was naive. It was a Tuesday afternoon when her message arrived. I was in a meeting, my phone face down on the table when it vibrated. I checked it during a break. Sienna's text read, "I'm done, I want a divorce. Don't reach out, contact my lawyer, Richard Paulson. I'll send his details." No warning, no explanation, just a cold, final declaration. I stared at the screen for maybe half a minute. My hands didn't tremble, I didn't feel fury or devastation. I just felt hollow, then strangely composed, as if something I'd been ignoring for months suddenly made sense. I replied with one word, fine. I returned to my meeting, finished work, and drove to our empty apartment. Sienna had clearly packed and left while I was gone. I sat at my laptop and got to work. First, I accessed our bank accounts. We had a joint account where I deposited my salary, plus my personal account she could use for emergencies. I moved every cent from the joint account to a new one she couldn't access. Then I called the bank and blocked her from my personal account. It took 15 minutes. Next, the credit cards, 3 in my name that she used freely. I contacted each provider, reported the cards missing, and had them canceled. Replacement cards would be sent to me alone. Her car, leased in my name with payments auto-deducted from my account, was next. I called the leasing company and stopped the payments. They warned that non-payment for 30 days would lead to repossession. Her monthly $3,000 allowance, sent via Venmo for her personal spending, was terminated immediately. It all took 2 hours. By 8 p.m., Sienna was completely cut off from my finances. I ordered a pizza, opened a beer, and waited. The next morning, an email from her lawyer arrived, professional, polite, suggesting an amicable separation and fair division of assets. He proposed a call to discuss terms. I didn't reply for 2 days. Instead, I gathered evidence, bank statements from the past 2 years, credit card records, spreadsheets. Sienna had spent over $140,000 of my money on non-essential purchases. Luxury handbags, spa treatments, a girl's trip to Cabo, another to Paris. 3 weeks prior, she'd bought a $4,000 purse. I also searched our apartment, inspecting every corner. Her closet was half empty. She'd taken her favorite clothes, leaving cheaper items behind. Her jewelry box was nearly bare, except for sentimental pieces I'd given her early on. The costly watch from last Christmas was gone, as were her iPad and the MacBook I'd bought her. Then I found something in the bathroom trash. A crumpled receipt from 2 weeks ago for a $340 dinner at a high-end steakhouse. 2 entrees, 2 cocktails, a bottle of wine. I'd been at a work conference that week. She hadn't dined alone. I sat on the bathtub's edge, holding the receipt, a cold realization settling in, not anger, just clarity. On day 3, my phone rang, an unknown number. I answered. "Marcus, this is Richard Paulson, Sienna's attorney. I know who you are. I've sent several emails." I saw them. A pause. "We'd like to proceed with mediation for a swift and fair resolution. Can we define fair?" Sienna is seeking spousal support to transition back to work, plus her portion of marital assets. She also requests you maintain her health insurance for— I laughed, cutting him off. "Is she with you now?" "No, why?" "Tell her she gets nothing, not a cent, not the furniture, not the car." "Nothing, sir, that's not how divorce works here. We have equitable distribution laws." "Then we'll see her in court." I ended the call. 10 minutes later, my phone lit up with texts from Sienna. "Are you serious? You froze my cards, Marcus. I'm stranded, I can't even buy gas. You're acting like a child. Call me now." "Fine, you want to play dirty? My lawyer will ruin you." I ignored every message. On day 5, Friday evening, a familiar number called, Sienna's best friend, Lauren. "Marcus, what's going on? Sienna's staying with me and she's a mess. Her cards don't work, she has no money." "Good. What?" "You heard me. She ended our marriage with a text, didn't even face me. Now she's upset there are consequences." Lauren's tone turned icy. This is financial abuse, Marcus. Financial abuse is controlling someone's own money, Lauren. I'm stopping her access to mine. There's a difference. She's an adult who chose to blow up our marriage. She can handle it. She has nothing. She has a degree, 2 hands, and apparently a lawyer on speed dial. She'll survive. Lauren hung up. That night I couldn't sleep, replaying our entire relationship. Sienna hadn't been happy for months, I'd noticed. She'd grown distant, always out with friends, coming home late, glued to her phone. We hadn't been intimate in over 2 months. I'd asked if something was wrong. She'd always said she was fine, just stressed or tired. I'd believed her, been patient, thought I was being supportive by giving her space. I was blind. Saturday morning, I hit the gym early to clear my mind. When I returned, a woman in her mid-30s, dressed professionally, was waiting outside my building. Marcus, who's this? I'm Richard Paulson's paralegal. He sent me to deliver these. She handed me an envelope, formal divorce and temporary spousal support petitions. I took them silently. She hesitated. I probably shouldn't say this, but Sienna came to our office yesterday crying. She's desperate. Maybe you two could talk. Did she say why she wants the divorce? She said you drifted apart. Did she mention who she's been getting closer to? Her expression shifted. What? Nothing. Thanks for the papers. That Monday, I hired my own attorney, Gary Chen, a seasoned lawyer recommended by a colleague who'd survived a brutal divorce. I brought him everything, bank statements, credit card records, the steakhouse receipt. Gary reviewed it all. She hasn't worked in 2 years and you've paid for everything. Every dime. Any proof she cheated? Just suspicions, the receipt, her sudden exit. Gary leaned back. Here's the deal. In this state, she's likely entitled to temporary spousal support since she's been jobless and you're the breadwinner. But it won't be much or long-term. Assets, they'll likely split 50-50 for anything gained during the marriage. That's not fair. I earned it all. Doesn't matter, marital property is shared. But here's the kicker. If she was unfaithful and you can prove it, that could affect spousal support. If she misused marital funds, especially on an affair, that's another leverage point. How do I prove it? Gary smirked. You're in tech. You know how to track digital trails. That night, I logged into our Verizon family plan, both phones under my name. I pulled Sienna's call and text logs for 6 months. One number appeared constantly, hundreds of texts and calls daily, starting 4 months ago. I traced it to Trent Cosgrove, a 31-year-old personal trainer at Sienna's gym. His LinkedIn was polished, his Instagram public. Buried in his posts was a photo from 3 weeks ago at the same steakhouse as the receipt. The caption read, "Amazing company, incredible wine." I saved everything. Gary filed our response to Sienna's petition, rejecting her support requests and contesting the asset split, citing financial mismanagement and suspected infidelity. We included the phone records and social media evidence. Within 48 hours, Richard Paulson called Gary. I wasn't privy to their talk, but Gary called me immediately after. She wants to settle. What? Paulson's scrambling. He didn't know about the affair. She hid it from him. Now he's furious because it makes him look unprepared. Sienna's ready to walk away with minimal support and a smaller asset share if we avoid court. How minimal? $1,500 a month for a year, plus $20,000 up front and the furniture. I calculated. $18,000 total for the year, plus $20,000. That's $38,000 to end this for good. Deal. But I want her to sign an NDA, no talking about me, no smearing me online, no contact after the divorce. Gary nodded. I'll write it up. 2 weeks later, we signed the papers in a conference room. Sienna arrived in sweats, no makeup, hair messy, looking drained. She avoided my gaze. Her lawyer reviewed the terms. She'd get her settlement, I'd keep the apartment, my savings, my car, everything else. She had 10 days to move out completely. When it was time to sign, Sienna looked at me. I didn't betray you. I held her stare, expressionless. Trent and I are just friends. Okay. You humiliated me, Marcus. You left me with nothing. You left me with a text and a lawyer's number, Sienna. Her jaw clenched. She signed. We left that room as strangers. 4 months later, I moved to a smaller apartment closer to work. Too many memories in the old place. I started therapy, realizing I'd ignored red flags for years. My therapist keeps mentioning codependency. I'm addressing it. Sienna moved in with Trent 2 weeks after the divorce, according to a mutual friend. They're a couple now, posting gym selfies, brunch photos, and bar nights. The $20,000 probably helped. Lauren, her friend, texted me once to apologize, saying Sienna had lied to everyone, calling me controlling and abusive. When the truth surfaced, many of their friends pulled away from her. I blocked Lauren, no need for more drama. Gary heard Sienna spent her settlement in 2 months. She's now working part-time at a boutique. I don't check on her anymore. I'm doing all right, though some days are tougher. Trust is hard now and dating feels out of reach, but I'm not as bitter as I was. I'm learning to be alone without feeling isolated. The biggest takeaway: when someone reveals their true self, trust them the first time. Sienna did with that text. I just wish I'd seen it sooner. Still, it's a hell of a story. Some asked why I didn't try to save the marriage. Truthfully, she didn't give me a chance. That text wasn't a plea or a rough moment. It was a planned departure. She had her lawyer ready, bags packed, new life waiting. I wasn't going to chase someone already gone. Yes, freezing the accounts might seem harsh. But they were my accounts, my earnings. If she wanted freedom, she got it. I wasn't going to bankroll her new life with her gym trainer boyfriend while she took me to court. Call it spiteful, I call it protecting myself. Someone asked if I still love her. I don't know. I loved who I thought she was. The real Sienna, the one who ended 7 years with a text and played victim, I don't think I ever truly knew her.